Welcome to Ringside Riffs by Andres Cortes. Now, what we saw in Crown Jewel was Roman Reigns taking a loss. Is that really the smartest decision right now? We haven't seen Roman Reigns in a PLE, actually, and even worse. He opened. What type of thing is it that we had the Bloodline? Pretty much the hottest thing in wrestling, the only thing in WWE that's surviving right now and calling attention, and we're pulling it in the first thing. The rest of the PLE had the people scratching their heads. We were all wondering why it was Roman Reigns in the middle of the ring. I get it. Sami Zayn came out. He interfered. He was there to help out. He was part of the savior. He was there. But Roman Reigns taking a loss is a big no-no in my book, especially the way they've been booking the tribal chief. It's a good thing that they did it for Solo Sikoa, but it's definitely hurtful, impactful, and if anything, it wasn't what I expected. But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing that we got to see something different, something unexpected, something that was relatively shocking. What wasn't shocking was that Jada Cargill and Bianca Belair were gonna keep their title, because that Fatal 4-way tag team battle, it was all meant to be. It was all strategized. It was already planned out what was gonna happen, and we definitely knew what was gonna happen. It was gonna be Jada Cargill and Bianca Belair. Now, something that was surprising, shocking, and the way it played out maybe could have been already foretold by many of others, but it is what it is, and it came out to be how it came out to be. What I am talking about is Liv Morgan beating Nia Jax, reigning herself as Crown Jewel champion, and actually enjoying it. It seemed like a genuine reaction. It seemed emotional. It seemed like the company had actually been behind her, and everything that she's been working with, the way she has risen to stardom, the rate that she has been taken seriously and becoming the number one sensation, the number one point, it is definitely worth it. It's definitely something that she's been working for, and now she's there. Being able to take up mommy, whether it is or not, with an injury. And now, what I heard Raquel Rodriguez scream out, "There you go, mommy," as if she's also stealing that nickname. We're coming deep into steps and deep into it is. You know what else is deep? It's going deep with Carmelo Hayes and, of course, Andrade. And this time they involved LA Knight. And if anything, it was a great US title match. It was a great place with spots. It kind of reminded me of what we just saw in AEW with Ricochet, Will Ospreay, and you know who I'm talking about. But we're not gonna get into that. We're gonna get into what exactly happened at Crown Jewel, the pivotal points that it made or broke this PLE, the pivotal points that we were all waiting for. Now, a match that was there defining, it was gonna be who is gonna come out on top as the Crown Jewel champion, who is gonna come out on top. It already came out to be these already ultimate storylines into what we had, of course, Cody Rhodes going off against Gunther. We had, of course, going off into these tangents about who will be the first champion, and of course it ended up being Cody Rhodes. But what are the pivotal points for Roman Reigns losing, and of course Gunther losing? These are big time losses for these folks that rarely lose, and it seemed intentional, it seemed mocking, it seemed like something out of the book. Now, we're talking about the continuation in the storyline of the Bloodline. We're going deep into where the Bloodline is heading off and how they're going to impact WrestleMania. Of course, they're going to impact Survivor Series. Of course, they've been impacting what is essentially going to be the next PLE. And they've been carrying the WWE in a Fatal 4 face off. But if anything, Bloodline against Bloodline is what we're all waiting to see. We're all waiting to see the decimation of Solo Sikoa. We're all waiting to see reunited of the original tribal chief and his original bloodline. And if anything, what is going to happen with that? Roman Reigns seemed superior, but in the end, some Samoan spikes was really what derailed him and put him to the ground. Jey Uso seemed to be disappearing out of the match, as well as Chico Fatu, an undeniably unstoppable force, seemed to be sometimes disappearing, and it just seemed like, did they really need all these people in the ring? And what are we to even expect? Is this all a lead up for The Rock to show up? What are the implications? Why didn't The Rock show up here if he showed up at the bad blood? And how are we going into the next storylines? We've only got a few weeks into, and we're going into Survivor Series, and we know that all these titles could be up for grabs again. All the women's titles, the United States title, the WWE title, it has to be defended. And of course, Gunther has to face off against either Damian Priest, against Dominic Mysterio, and many other more to be announced. And we're just here getting started into what is actually happening in the WWE because of what happened after Crown Jewel, because of what we saw after Crown Jewel, because of the highlight reel that was Crown Jewel. Of course, they had to be coming out with the expenses, they had to be spending all out the props, they had to be putting out the stops, just like what they did with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, just like exactly what they had to do to make these big time Philly moments. But we weren't gonna stop there. Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, they had big spots, they had a big clean winner. After the thought, we had Seth Rollins saying he did not feel like an actual winner. There were so many storylines coming out of this, but it doesn't feel like they were concluded. It doesn't feel like Seth Rollins was concluded against Bronson Reed. It doesn't feel like Andrade or Carmelo Hayes was concluded. And that is the definition of the pivotal point. That is exactly how we're ending this and stepping into the next step, going into what is going to be Survivor Series, going into what is going to be the next storylines of the WWE. Yes, some of the things that should have been involved, as the tag team title should have been involved, that it was the women who had to make their statement, of course, being to the dress code of the Saudi Arabian Prince and Kingdom, and going there and showing off, and going there and being able to detain and stopping all of them. But of course, it was big time moments that defined characters, and Bronson Reed definitely stepped up to the main event. Jada Cargill and Bianca Belair solidified themselves as main event talent. Seth Rollins was able to cleanly walk away with a win and continue to be in the main talent caliber, saving himself for now, and just other things. So let me know what you thought about Crown Jewel. Let me know what point I might have missed and what you would have said. Thank you for watching.